International Education and Research, Thane. After a long career in science and mathematics education at Homi Bhabha Center for Science Education, Mumbai, he retired on 30 June 2030. He has obtained his MSc degree in chemistry from University of Nagpur in year 1975 with university rank and his PhD degree in science education from University of Pune in 1988. Dr. Agarkar has varied professional experience of planning, implementation and evaluation of educational projects. He has also successfully managed many projects like talent search and nurture amongst the unprivileged, then remedial program for secondary schools in tribal regions, improving teaching of science and mathematics through voluntary organizations, in-service training for teachers and teacher educators, etc. His special interest lies in education of socially deprived students. He has also developed remedial instructional strategies to facilitate science and mathematics learnings. In-service training of teachers and teacher educators is yet another interest area of Dr. Agarkar sir. He has conducted a large number of in-service training courses in science and mathematics. As a live member of Marathi Vidhan Parishad, he has also been organizing variety of popular events to take science and mathematics to a masses. Dr. Agarkar sir has also received many awards and distinctions. To mention few, he has been facilitated with Marathi Vidhan Parishad for his outstanding work in science education. He has also been rewarded Rotary Foundation Scholarship and Homi Bhabha Award in science education. Based on his research field experience, Dr. Agarkar sir continues writing articles and books. He has technically written more than 100 reputed national journals. He has also contributed to a series of four remedial algebra and 4 remedial geometry books. He has brought a series of 3 books on activity-based learning for teachers. He has also co-authored popular science books like a book on science quiz, how and why science in school, use of vacations for students, personality development, etc. Dr. Agarkar sir is a globetrotter. In addition to this, he undertakes several visits for teachers and students across various countries. Now, in collaboration with his son, Dr. Agarkar has initiated a startup named as EDU 360 Knowledge Solution Private Limited and also has recently launched a mobile app named Arius, which has been working interestingly in developing science and mathematics subject for students as well as for teachers. So now with this, I would quickly request Dr. Agarkar sir to take the charge of this session and I just hand over to him now. Thank you, sir.
Thank you for the nice introduction. So I think it was a wonderful introduction about Dr. Agarkar. And let me share with you that my association with him has been for close to 10 years now. And what I really appreciate about him is his simplicity. As a teacher, he is one of the most simplest teacher I have seen in the Thane campus. Second important thing which I really would share with our student friends and others, that his capacity to absorb new knowledge. I have seen that he is basically a student of science and mathematics, but the way he has picked up the management area, the research area, the economics area, business understanding, all these things are pretty new for a teacher who is basically from maths and science background. But the kind of interest and the kind of reading habits which he has developed in these fields are phenomenal. Last but not the least, and most important, is his phenomenal networking abilities. Now, you name a country, and I think he will have a friend over there. With a person who has come from a very remote village background, having such a network, such a vast network, is really phenomenal. And sir, credit goes to you in this journey. So it is your simplicity and knowledge which connects you with people, and that is how I am also connected with you. And I wish that whatever knowledge and experience you have gathered, my students and our student colleagues should be getting this your expertise. And therefore, I thought that whenever we talk about innovation and entrepreneurship, who better than you would be a great person because you love sharing stories, and stories are one of the best mediums to share the information. And this is how we are here as a part of our IIC cell, innovation cell. And the first question which comes to my mind when we talk about this today's story about air conditioning is that scientific discoveries are changing the world economics. I think it is very difficult to connect that how science and economics can be brought together. It is such a difficult task because scientists, somebody is with a scientist mindset and the other is the economics part of it. So how this topic comes to the the system, and how you would like to elaborate on this?
Yeah, so this is a natural question that might come in the mind of anyone. Here is a person with scientific background and trying to tell us something which has more on economics or management. It is because in my study, in my research, I have found out that there are scientific researches, phenomena discovered by a scientist that have changed the entire world. And there are many such examples. As a result, human beings have come together. As a result, production has started. The entire industrial revolution that has given a boost to Europe in 16th, 17th, 18th century is an outcome of science discoveries. Here I would like to share with you one interesting example. University of Cambridge. University of Cambridge is very strong in science, you might be knowing. So they have started what is called Science Park. What does Science Park mean? Science Park is not a place where you go and have entertainment. Science Park is a place where scientists and business people come together.
Oh wow, it's very interesting.
So the scientists share their idea, and the business people have different mind how to convert that into an industry. Actually, that is how industrial development took place. And university has played a great role in progressing England. And because they could produce things in a large number of a good quality, they wanted to sell it. And in order to sell it, they went out. And finally, they realized that these countries are not only for selling but also capturing. So they have captured many countries. It is the industrial revolution that has come out of science. And industrial revolution is, directly a financial thing. And therefore, I see there is a direct connection. Wonderful.
So with this idea of the science park, I think the thought which is coming in my mind right now is about the innovation park in Thane campus. We should we should come up with a innovation park where business people and our students, with innovative mindsets, they should come together and probably explore opportunities in the area of business.
So we have actually started Innovation Corner in the Science College, B.N. Bandorkar College of Science, where we are giving first activity of the Innovation Corner is to tell the students about innovators. The title is Know the Innovators. And this is arranged every fourth Thursday of the month. We started in August. 5 sessions have been conducted. Now, idea is students and teachers with new ideas, they should come together and develop something. And everything will be displayed on 28th of February, which is a Science Day. That's the idea. And the students would be encouraged to interview people who are engaged directly in scientific research. But because of this COVID restrictions, we could not do it much. But at the beginning, it's been done.
Great. So, sir, I think when we were talking about the science and economics getting together, it will be great if you can really share one good example, a good story, which is really implemented.
So before I come to the topic of today's session, let me share the topic that I had talked about in my first lecture. Actually, this is the second lecture in this series of scientific discoveries that change the world economics. In my first session, I had spoken about manufacture of indigo. You might be knowing indigo is a coloring matter, a dye stuff that we get from indigo plants. Okay, let me give you some figures. 1890, 3,70,000 acres of land was under the cultivation of indigo plants. 1890. 1900, it came to half. 1910, it came to zero. The British officers who were forcing our farmers to cultivate indigo plants, they are now requesting the farmers not to cultivate because they would not be able to buy and sell it. Why? Because 1897, when Adolf von Bayer, a chemist, developed a technique of manufacturing indigo dye in the labs. Now you can imagine, and I have given you only figures of the land area. The money involved was huge. Billions of dollars there was an export, which came down to zero. And that has changed the economy of not only India, other Asian countries, and also Europe, because they were supplying to each other. That is the best example, which I think.
I think that is really phenomenal. Means something which we were cultivating for years and years, and suddenly it drops down to zero because of some discovery in the chemical laboratory. Sir, is there any engineering example in this domain? This is the chemistry example, but I'm sure with our engineering colleges around, an engineering example would really connect with this.
You have brought me to a topic which is close to my and your own, the engineering subject. Can you please start that PPT? See, we are sitting in an air-conditioned room now. And when the air conditioning started, we felt very comfortable. But in the beginning of 20th century, air conditioning was not available. Put the guy next year. Take the next. Okay. It was discovered in 1902 by a person who was a mechanical engineer whose name is Willis Carrier. You might have heard Carrier Company.
Yes.
That is named after it. So here is a picture of Willis Carrier. Born in 1876, I have given the dates here, and died in 1950. Lived about 73 years here on this world. So he is the person who is responsible for air conditioning cinema theaters, air conditioning classroom, air conditioning marriage hall, and even our bedrooms. And he was a mechanical engineer, which I was saying. Can you just next close to the next? Here, just the background, and then I'll stop here. So he was born somewhere close to a place called Buffalo, in the state of New York, not New York City, which is northwest. Buffalo is near Niagara Falls. Okay. So, and he was in a small village, of course, very small village. And then he had his education and finally went to Cornell University. What I have tried to give you here is a logo of Cornell University, which is, they call it Grant in Aid College. So what is meant by granted college? Is the land is given by the government. Okay. Everything is private. Money you have to raise, you have to ensure that people are paid, and all facilities you have to create. So this is the college where he had his master's in education, and then he did great work. So should I give you more information about
some more
this
will be
person?
really helpful.
No, because after his education, after education he joined this
Buffalo
company, Buffalo company. You know which was supplying instruments to variety of factories and companies. and one of them was a printing company.
Okay.
And the printing company realized that their paper, which they bring and keep in a stock, keep in a stock, it, the shape is deformed.
Okay.
It doesn't remain as it is. So what is the solution? So they approached the company where this man was working.
Okay.
Now, what I'm trying to tell you is 1901 he completed his education, joined the company immediately, and 1902 he came out with the idea of how air conditioning can be done. Okay, how that problem can be solved? What is the problem? Problem is those paper which gets deformed, why and how to cut it.
So he could actually observe the pain point of the printers.
Exactly.
Wow.
So the pain point of the printer was this. So what he realized that because in a hot summer you feel very hot, dry, and you feel if there is a moisture little blowing on you, you will be comfortable. That's what we do in Nagpur region also. They have this where the air is blown and the moisture falls on your body.
So the desert coolers.
On the other side, the places like Mumbai, we are sweating and sweating and sweating all the time. Here, the moisture control means you have to decrease the amount of moisture. There in the dry place, you have to increase the amount of moisture. So he realized that in certain time there is a very high moisture, and certain time there is very little. So if I control the moisture, then this problem is solved. You can show the next slide where he is a man, he is a person standing with his machine, and he not only devised this, gave it to the printing factory, but also patented it.
Oh.
That is important.
Very true.
So the patenting which is the most important thing in any innovation. Okay, and after patenting, it just did not keep quiet. He went on designing better and better instruments and supplying it to other industries also. Not only the printing industry needed it, but even other industries needed it. We are not in an industry now, even though we are sitting in a room. We need this air conditioning actually, because that's a comfort which people do. So this is a picture which shows one instrument which has developed not in 1902. 1902 he came up with an idea what can be done. Later on he continued to work, and then he developed.
So when you talk about that he understood the concept of air quality, moisture, also understood the problem of the printing press. So what exactly did Career do to get into the business model?
So now let me first tell you what do I mean by air conditioning.
Okay, sure.
See, air conditioning is number one is adjusting the temperature which is comfortable to us. So our body temperature is about 37 degrees Celsius. But we are comfortable if the temperature around is between 22 to 24. Okay, so that is number one. Number two is moisture. If it is very high, we are uncomfortable. If it is very low. And the third is purity of air which comes in. So he has brought in all the three parameters and developed the air conditioning. Right? Yeah. And then as I told you, patented it. Now a scientist usually stops here. Scientists usually stops here, say, okay, I have developed this. Now this is the responsibility of someone else to manufacture it, to sell it, to make business out of it.
Okay. So you mean to say there was a businessman in Career?
Yeah. And why I'm telling you this, because there is an example of our great Jagdish Chandra Bose. Jagdish Chandra Bose, he showed how radio waves can be used to transmit sound waves from one place to another without any wire. That is a wireless technology. In the Royal Society, one newspaper reporter asked him, "Sir, your research seems to have a big industrial potential. Are you thinking in that direction?" Jagdish Chandra Bose said, "No, my knowledge is for the world. Whoever wants to make use of it, let them." And Marconi, the person who used it and transmitted signals from this part of Atlantic to the other part of Atlantic, and became the discoverer of radio. And 1905 Nobel Prize was given to Marconi, not to Jagdish. Okay. On this background, if you consider this man, he did not stop there. He said, "I should now come out with a production." And now take the next slide. So what he has done, he has collected this. Now try to remember, 1902 his beginning. Then by the time he perfected his design, came out with some instrument, it was almost 1910. 1914, the First World War started. Okay, the situation was very bad. And there were no funding agencies, there were no factories coming forward to. So what he did, he has collected 6 of his friends. Here's a picture. It was difficult to get this picture, but very interesting. But these are the 7 persons who came together. Okay. And they had some little savings. They were not very rich people. And all of them collected $32,000 US.
Oh, wonderful.
In 1915 and started a company,
Very interesting.
Carrier Corporation in New York. You might be knowing New Jersey is just close to New York. That's where they started. Carrier.
In short, you are talking about fundraising.
So yeah,
he would raise funds during that.
So he has raised funds from his own friends.
Great.
And that was not a huge amount. And he did not wait to get a huge amount of money or someone to come forward. And he started. So 1915, even though he started, he was not getting big orders or big business because the situation was volatile. But after the First World War, demand increased because people realized that this is a instrument which not only gives us comfort, but it also enhances productivity. Absolutely. Because if someone is working in an air-conditioned room, he is pleasant,
Overall performance increases.
Works harder. So this is what I'm trying to tell you is the role of a scientist doesn't or an engineer doesn't end just at the discovery level.
True.
It has to be taken to the society.
Next level.
Yeah. And because we owe something to society.
Absolutely.
And this is what.
Wonderful. So, how did how his work affect the economics? Because we are talking about the science and economics panel here.
Yeah.
So, how his work?
So, the picture that I have shown you is the picture of those 7 persons. You can see all are young.
Very
And later on, they decided to go global. And take the next slide.
Next slide.
Take the next slide. They decided to go global.
Okay.
And when they wanted to go global, where can they go? Japan is the leader in technical instruments.
True. Electronics.
At one time, if you have a Japanese instrument, then it's reliable. And now also it's the same case. So he went to Japan and had a collaboration with Japanese company and started a company there.
Oh.
So United States, anyway, production is going on. Japan he started. Which is the other country which is in ahead technology? It's South Korea. So he collaborated with Samsung, which is a company, company, and they started producing. Now this Carrier global company, produces largest number of
ACs,
air conditioners, and as per the 2018 figure, they are employing 53,000
people.
people. Now, when I say 53,000 people in this situation, 53,000 is a big number.
Very big.
Because now most of the work is done by robots and many things are automated.
Yes,
It's such a huge, and these are the people who are working in the factories. I'm not talking about people who are in the sales,
in the business,
service, and even transport.
true, directly or indirectly connected.
Directly and indirectly. As you know,
Yes.
when one business strives, there are variety of other things that get selected. And therefore, I consider this a very important step of globalization.
But just out of the curiosity, where he got that thought of or vision of expansion and all that, because this is very important from the business perspective.
Yeah.
So probably some motivation would have come to him. Is there any idea you have?
No, actually, I do not have much idea about from where he got motivation, but his friends, they were the motivation. And another thing is he went on building contacts. See, in this business profession, your social contact, your human contact, absolutely, is most important. Absolutely. So he could convince people, even in South Korea and Japan and many other countries, that here is a product to be made and sold. And then at a later stage, United Technologies is a big manufacturing company. It came forward, okay, and then they merged company with this, and when they had a support of United Technology, but this was closer to the Second World War. Between the First World War to Second World War,
He was independent.
the 7 people they struggled. Towards the beginning of the Second World War, bigger companies came and then they supported, took over some aspect of manufacturing.
So normally, sir, we have seen that, when we talk about, say, Reliance, so you say Mukesh Bhai, and Mukesh Bhai के तो father Dhirubhai bhai थे,
Yeah.
तो इसलिए background strong था, तो Mukesh Bhai को उतना मेहनत नहीं. ऐसा सब discussion
Yeah.
students have.
Yeah.
So, would you like to share about careers, family background, and education? You already shared.
Yeah. That's a wonderful question. And in fact, I was looking for this. He did not have any background of business in his house. Firstly, he was born in a very small village. Okay. That's a name I gave, some Angola. And another thing is his father was doing some odd jobs. He was not a big person. But somehow he developed this innovative ability and things went on. And there is one more possibility, that the culture of United States might have also boosted his admission, because that is what one notices in US. They give freedom, they encourage you.
No, because I always keep on wondering that in India, people have money, people have a lot of facilities, but somehow when it comes to jumping into a business, they look for safe havens, and they look for more of career than jobs. So when means career also had an engineering background, and he didn't have a great family background, but people jumped into business. So I think that is very interesting. Very nice. So, what do you think some of the important qualities career would have, or any entrepreneur would have?
Yeah. I would answer your question, but before that, I think there is one more slide which I could show you. This is a dome that they have constructed for a university. It's actually a football ground, and they are air conditioning it. Good. It is not air conditioned now. And one more thing which I was telling you about the encouragement that United States get. Let's go one style ahead and I will be able to tell you. Yeah, this is called Hall of Fame. And if there is a person who has done something innovative, and if that innovation is significant, his name and picture will appear in this Hall of Fame. Very nice. And this is an encouragement. Why I'm trying to tell you is because those who go and see here, they get encouraged. True. And this is what I call role model. And here one gets a role model. True. And to answer your question, somehow in our case, we lack that role model. And that was okay. Coming back to your what legacy this person has left for us. Number one is you should firstly identify the pain point for either industry or a society or whatever. And then instead of just criticizing, oh, this is what is going on, no one does this, we have the habit of criticizing the government or the society or the people. Can I look for an answer? I look for an answer. And the second is, once I look for an answer, can I expand it? Can I make it viable? Can I see that it reaches to a larger audience? And ultimately, money is important, actually. And it should be able to generate money. And not only generate money, give work to a large number of people.
But sir, when you talk about that pain points, a very wonderful area where I really love that. But I sharply believe, or very strong believer, that people need to develop observation skills.
You are right.
And I think this is where our current generation, I believe, because of over bombardment of information or the distraction levels, they are unable to catch small observations. So how would you suggest them, or what would be your advice to them?
No, see, I have worked in the field of education, so I can give you a long answer to this. But let me be brief on that. See, what has happened in our society, the marks in the examination has been given much more importance than it deserves. So if someone is getting good marks, we consider, oh, very intelligent. That person might not succeed at a later stage. And therefore, the other aspects of what is called observation, etc., are neglected. Presently, I am writing a series of articles on learning outside the classroom. Shala Bahya Shikshan, this is a Marathi. Because our personality is built not only in the four walls of the classroom, but out of the classroom. Absolutely. So out of classroom, experience is very negligible. Let me share one interesting experience with you. You know, Japanese students come here, and we take them around. And I was taking them to Bhau Daji Lad Museum in Mumbai, which is near that garden, Victoria Garden. Okay. So along with the Japanese students, there are also Indian students who are accompanying them. And I found that none of them had seen this museum earlier. Majority of them are born and brought up in this region. So, what does it mean? It means my interest for knowledge which is outside the textbook is very minimal. And that is the reason we don't have innovators. That is one thing. Another thing is there is no respect for innovators. I can share the example from my own house. You know, when my son decided that he will do something innovative work instead of going for a job, you know, the people in the society who are asking me, "Kam karne ko nahi jata hai?" Better that. So the education system and the society, all are responsible for that. And I made a point about United States. United States encourages this innovation. United States encourages meritocracy. And therefore, you will find innovations coming out of this country and also Europe.
So when we talk about the qualities of career, which are some of the most important qualities which career had, and so that he could become an entrepreneur. Yeah.
No, see, a large number of students have been coming to me and asking what should they do. So my advice to them, which will be of relevant here, is number one is identify what are your strong points. Because everyone is bestowed with certain qualities. Someone have a musical ear, someone might have an artistic background, someone might be a very good observer, someone might be good in performing by hands. So firstly, you identify your strong and then decide what you want to do. And once you decide, try to acquire all those skills which are relevant to that profession. Okay. Suppose, for example, suppose you want to become a businessman. So what are the qualities that are required for the businessman? I may or may not be able to reproduce Newton's laws of motion, but there are other qualities that are required. And therefore, people, those who have identified their own qualities and utilized, they have succeeded. This is what.
Because I think with the students, I think this is one of the biggest challenge that because of too much of distraction, probably they are like a jack of all, but master of none. So they get confused that which is my real strong point, and they feel even when they take specializations, they are confused whether they should take marketing, or they should take finance, or they should take operations, or they should take HR. So that kind of confusion is there. So would you give a piece of advice to them here?
No, that's what I was thinking. See, the confusion occurs because you feel that you can do this, you can do this, you can do that. No. We are born with a purpose. God has sent us, whether you believe in God or not is a different matter, but God has sent us with certain purpose. And what is that purpose? Firstly, you have to identify. And that purpose you can identify based on the strong points that you have. Okay. And another thing is, once you decide, don't compare yourself with others. My guru has always been telling me, compare yourself with yourself. What does it mean? You should be one step ahead today than what you were yesterday. Don't worry about others. Others might have different path, might have a different origin. And what happens is, many of our students go on comparing. Oh, that person brought a car earlier than me. Let me give you my own example. I joined the Tata Institute of Fundamental Research as scientific assistant. And even though I was a rank holder of the university, I took such a small job. And all my colleagues started laughing. And they said, what is this? Look at us, we are now probation officers. One became custom officer, another said, oh, I am a professor, etc. But where are they and where am I? Because even though you start at level, you are in an institution which gives you a ladder, actually, and which gives you opportunity to innovate, do something. So identify the area where you will progress. Rather, don't bother about others. First thing is, which is the area where you will enjoy. First thing. And second thing is, what do you think you will be able to contribute? And because you are born with a purpose. And if you do this, I'm sure everyone will succeed.
So with regards to that risk-taking ability of career, would you like to share something?
Yes. Risk-taking, see, I have one more adjective. I call it calculated risk. Okay, risk is there, but there is a calculation behind that risk. And what is the calculation? Calculation is because there is going to be a demand for this, I should enter it into it now. You have calculated it. So if you take calculated risk, then you will progress. And see, of course, there are people who are taking, and it doesn't mean every risk will give you success. There are failures also. And in fact, in research profession, And the first thing is taught, don't worry, even if you fail. Okay, so when Thomas Alva Edison, the person with largest number of patents, came out with a incandescent bulb. You might be knowing that the incandescent bulb, where they have tungsten filament, which gets heated by electricity. And so he tried so many items and came out with some success. So one person asked him, "Oh, after so many failures, you have succeeded." He said, "No, I now guarantee know that these items don't work." So that was also a learning opportunity for him. Choose that as a learning opportunity and go ahead. Can you go to the next slide? I think we are coming towards the end of this. So this is this is a very common picture nowadays. You can see the window ACs most of the time. And what I'm trying to tell you is 1902, it was not at all common. So the beginning of 20th century, it was not common, but beginning of 21st century, it has become common because of one person. And now you might go next and yeah, that's where I had a few pictures.
So probably, sir, we come to the end of this career story. As a part of our Innovation Council, would you like to share your message, most important message for the students that because finally our government, our AICT, they are also trying to promote innovation, and they are trying to push students so that probably whatever you were talking about US culture. So they are trying to build that culture of innovation in institutions, in higher education institutions. So probably some important message would really help them, and it will help us to nurture that kind of innovation in our institution.
Now let me, I have been taking students and teachers to England every year. So when I was trying to study Europe, I found that up to about AD 1000, Euro was nowhere. After 1000 AD, there was a renaissance, and they started wondering about various things, and finally the industrial development gives them the hand. Now this industrial development is totally the product of innovative ideas, because it is not only the use of coal instead of muscle power, but it is also producing new things, taking care of its quality, taking care of its marketing, a variety of things. And even in India, we need that. So if we go little behind in Indian culture, intelligence-wise, we are equal to everyone.
I think we are at par.
At par. And if you look at our past, we have done a great thing.
Yes, super interesting.
But somehow head and hand did not come together in India. So people who were thinking with head remained different, people who were working with hand remained different. So whatever happened, happened. But after independence, we have created a culture of what is called scientific development. We have a large number of IITs. We now have large number of national institutes, and all this is giving results. And therefore, my being a scientist throughout the life, I would like to appeal people that they should offer their services either to scientific innovation or any other innovation. Doesn't matter, because there are a variety of ways where innovation can be done. And innovation is the buzzword of 21st century. Unless you do something new, you will not be able to even survive in this competitive world.
Absolutely.
And therefore, my advice to the education system is provide opportunities to the students to do something new, organize competitions, provide opportunities them to do new experiments, and there should be opportunity to share platform where students come together and share their ideas. And you might be knowing in many research institutions, there is a big canteen. The canteen is a place for discussion. Canteen is a place, Royal Society. What is the Royal Society? Royal Society is basically a place for discussion where the ideas emerge. So the peer interaction is an important aspect. So make use of peer interaction. Make use of any innovative idea that comes to you, and learn as many new things as possible. Don't bother about your own subject. It doesn't mean you neglect that. You study that, but at the same time, you study other subjects and try to see how they are connected. Because life is complicated. Absolutely. Life is not botany, biology, or economics.
So I think we would be very happy if our audience has any set of questions. We'll be very happy to take them. We have Genius with us, who has rich knowledge of both science, maths, economics put together. So I'll be very happy to have some questions for him.
There were some in the chat box. You read that. I am unable to read from.
Is there anything in the chat box? Can you please check? No.
Can you read out?
No. I think feedback. I think Professor Kunal is about to ask a question.
Sir, thank you so much for sharing this inspiring story. Sir, just out of curiosity, I would like to ask one question that though we have understood this, how this air conditioning or like the machines which we are using on daily basis, how it was invented. So I would just like to know like if this like windows and after split ACs and now we can see different kind of this AC. So all this were further invented by this like carrier company head or maybe some innovations by some other companies as well, just from marketing perspective.
It's a good question. See, this Willis Carrier first brought in the component of moisture in the air conditioning. Cooling was being done earlier, but this aspect of moisture management in the weather was brought in by him. Okay. Then there has been other companies. If you think of India, Voltas is the leading company in India, and they came out with variety of air conditioners. Yeah. So split AC, etc., is a product after the Carrier. So 1950 he left this world. Okay. So split AC and other facilities. Now there is what is called inverter AC. Inverter business. So all this is a new development. But why we are giving importance to this man? Because he was the first to take three components of air conditioning: the temperature, moisture, and air quality, okay, and implement it. And later on, as I told you, United Technologies took over this company. Now also it is running.
I think, Runal sir, to answer your question, which probably a very common thought process which comes to my mind. Suppose if I have a hall, and there was a window AC, but I never had a window in my house. Then how would I have a AC? Probably to address that point, somebody thought that ACs are required even when there is no window in the system. So probably why not come with a split AC? So I think once the concept is known to you that air conditioning is possible, then for all those people with windows, without windows, or now with any thought process, I think that could be one of the areas where it could have hit to the incremental innovation in the same
incremental innovation. Yes, sir.
Innovation. And I'm sure now it is getting into radical innovation where probably no compressors or very small size compressors will come into the system.
And there is also an aspect of air conditioning in the entire building.
Yes, yes.
There the requirement is very different.
True.
Which of course was developed.
Like, I think somebody shared in the chat box that V35 is a very recent development. I think
Yeah.
V35,
Yeah.
one of the candidates have shared in the chat box that V35 seems to be a new. Yeah. Very right. Sushmita Shinde has shared that.
Yeah, good.
Very nice.
Certainly, the development will continue to go ahead.
So we wish that you should be participating in these areas of innovation, and I'm sure. See why we keep on sharing with you these small incidences of earlier innovators and inventors and discoverers, so that we someday get motivated. We someday start young, and then probably tomorrow your story will be shared with somebody else. That is how the story goes on. So, sir, in this journey. My next question to you is what would be the probable next topic for our discussion, probably, so that the students also come prepared with that topic.
So next topic I am taking wireless communication. And in my flow of speaking, I had already referred to the person who is original, and he is an Indian person, Jagdish Chandra Bose. So and the wireless communication has changed the world like anything. What are we doing now? We are talking to each other through wireless, and it's a great change. So our next topic would be wireless communication, starting from
Okay, sir.
in the Presidency College, Calcutta, to his presentation in the Royal Society, to Marconi's work of transmitting radio waves, to mobile telephony and internet and Zoom platform and so many things. So that will be our process.
Anything,
Yeah.
Pranam, sir, anything else from your side?
No, sir. Just like sir, since sir shared about the next topic, so yes, sir, again, it would be interesting to know about, to learn about how that wireless technology was invented and how, like now, where it has reached in today's world. So
And
yes, we will definitely give one more
wish to
session.
thank Jayashree and then Tejashree. They have commented that it was a pleasure listening to you, sir. So their messages are there. So thank you so much for that compliments, and we would be very happy to have your honest feedbacks. We wish to be as innovative and as novel in our ideas, and how
Yes.
can we engage you? I think that will be really nice if we can engage you more. So my request would be come prepared with questions, and don't feel that even your simplest question would be really appreciated. So do not hesitate. This is our own internal platform, so there is no fear of failure and all. It is going to be an experience thing. So the more the questions asked, the more learning happens for everybody. Answering means my always thought is questions are guaranteed, answers may not. So there should be enough of questions in our mind. That is what the young India seems to be. So wishing you all the best, and please stay safe. Omicron is spreading. So stay at home. Have adequate protocols of COVID. Please use mask and hand sanitizers. Wash your hands and all that. Take care of you, yourself, and your family. Thank you so much. God bless you.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you, sir. And I would request Nikita to please present the vote of
Yes,
thanks.
sir. Yes, sir. So thank you, sir. It was really an insightful session, and I'm sure many of us feel the same. So, like all the questions are answered, and thank you, Nitin sir, for asking questions on behalf of our students. So, thank you for that. So, considering all the questions are answered, I would quickly like to express my vote of thanks to Dr. Agarkar sir. So, they say time is the most precious thing.
Joshi sir, also to Joshi sir.
Yeah, also, yeah.
No, let me tell you, this format was decided on the seashore of Varaneshwar when we were together. And this topic and this format has been decided.
So, yeah, I would also like to thank you, sir, for this wonderful session.
You are part of our family. Absolutely fine. Yeah.
Okay, sir. Yeah, so it is said that time is one of the most precious thing anyone can give. So today you have gifted your time as well as your treasures of knowledge and experience. So we are so glad for having you here, sir. I would also thank you, Nitin, sir, for this moderating this session so well. And I would also like to thank our IT team for the uninterrupted support, and also IIT team of BRIMS. And last but not least, all my students for being patient and cooperative throughout this session. Thank you, sir. Looking forward for more such sessions. Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
And just like to